Here with Ryan Waldschmidt. Ryan, you showed a few days ago what you can do with the bat. Today you show what you can do with the glove. How much fun are you having right now? How much are you enjoying your first spring training with the big league club?
Yeah, it's been great. Getting to know these guys, day by day, getting more comfortable with all the guys on the team and the coaching staff. I think it just really allows me to go out there and just play my game. Early in camp, you can make it easy to press and want to be making an impression on everyone. And I think by this point, a couple games in, I've gotten a couple starts under my belt. I really have just honed in on just being myself and just playing aggressive and seeing what I can do for the team.
The expectation from a lot of fans is that you are deserving of a spot on the opening day roster, and your rise throughout the minor leagues shows that the track record that you've established. How do you go about not putting too much pressure on yourself and not setting that expectation of going up there and trying to do too much?
Yeah, I'm a big believer on controlling the controllables, and that's something that's out of my power. That's something for the coaches to decide, and they're going to evaluate me on the field. And I think for me, just being relaxed, playing, having fun, showing that I'm one of the guys with them, showing I'm comfortable around everyone. I think that's a big step to it. I think if you are an outsider, just being on the field, acting like you're in the minor league or with the big leaguers kind of makes it tough, and it's easy to see, but I'm trying to fit in with everyone, act like the rest of everyone does, and act like I belong on that field, which I firmly believe I do. And, just control the things I can, effort and attitude. I think those are two things you can bring every day. And if I bring the right effort and I bring the right attitude, I think good things can happen. And at the end of spring training, we'll see what happens. But I'm just going to go out there and just continue to have fun and let them make that hard decision at the end of camp.
What do you think you've shown so far? I mean, you obviously had the diving catch today. You had the home run a few days ago. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you are stacking days and showing that, hey, I do belong at this level?
I do. I think day by day I'm becoming more comfortable. I think I've showed early that, like, the other day when I hit that home run, my first two at-bats were not very pretty. I mean, I struck out my first two at-bats. But it shows the maturity to just kind of stay the course and see what happens throughout the game. And I ended up hitting a home run and walking and, putting together a pretty good day at the plate. And I think that's part of it. How quick can you kind of flush what happens, good or bad, move on to the next pitch, next play. And I think that as long as you can do that, you can find yourself in a lot better head spaces and physically in better places to be successful.
Has any rise from where you started in college to where you got to first round pick to quickly moving through the minors, has any of that surprised you at all, or do you feel like this is exactly where you belonged all along?
Yeah, I think I've always had that self-confidence. To have that, not cockiness, but confidence. I think to go out there and be a confident player and be a confident person. I've always had that self-belief. It's not necessarily for me to prove to others that I have that ability. It's more of just being myself and letting people come and see what I can do. And I think, early on, I started at a small college, worked my way to the SEC, battled injury, adversity, and I think that plays a lot of it too, is just being able to bounce back from things. I think going through adversity, going through failure makes you come out stronger and makes you come out better mentally as a person and a player. And I think all those things accumulated by the end of this, when I'm getting older and becoming more of a baseball player, like the higher you go to the show soon, you just realize that all those negatives and all that adversity really push you towards the top.
Charleston Southern, right, was the first school?
Yeah, it was very.
How did you wind up there?
So in high school I had a couple injuries, didn't really get recruited heavy, then COVID hit, still no recruiting for me, and I talked to Ole Miss as a young player, and one of their assistant coaches at the time ended up getting the head coaching job at Charleston Southern, gave me a phone call during COVID, said, I've seen you in the past, I really like what you got, I really want you to come here and help me turn this program around. And I took it on the spot. I was like, I just want a place to play. Like, I'm grateful for this opportunity. And, after I always had that belief that I was always looking for more, wanting to be at a higher level. I think I always belonged at a higher level, but, it's a big thing of just being where your feet are. I took it every day the same as I would as if I was here when I was in Charleston Southern. Worked to get better every day, and then next thing you know, the next year I found myself at University of Kentucky. So
we'll let you go after this. Today was the first time we saw the outfield combination of you, Jordan Lawler, and Drew Jones. What was it like sharing an outfield with them? Because they, like yourself, two other young guys, highly rated in this system, and the expectations for all three of you are growing by the day.
Yeah, those two are really young, hardworking guys. They really want to get better every day. They're playing hard. They're playing with high energy and effort. And I think that's the people I want to surround myself with. And, I think we can all learn something from each other. Jordan's fresh in the outfield. He's asking questions to Drew and I. I mean, I'm only a couple years into the outfield, but like you see how he really wants to learn, and he's not afraid to ask questions, especially to a teammate or even guys that are younger than him in lower levels than him. He wants to get better, and same thing, I'll ask Drew questions, be like, hey man, like what do you got on this read here? What would you have done? And I think it was really cool to share an outfield with them, and I hopefully continue to do that in the future here soon.
Could be a sign of things to come. Ryan, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Cam, we'll send it back to you.